What a week it was last week. We had Donald Trump giving us a gift from the gods with DWAC. I'm sure most of you who have me on Instagram will have seen that we made an absolute killing on that. Read it in the morning. As soon as we seen it was a SPAC, we were balls deep in it. And it was a great 2 days. Friday was a bit chaotic. Corruption on Wall Street again, halting things for a couple of hours, crazy. But listen, we had a good couple of weeks here. 2 weeks ago, we brought just a few stocks. We talked about the likes of ChargePoint and Plug, which are going very, very well. Last week, then we talked about Alpine 4. I put that video out there saying, do not go near, be careful if you're thinking of opening up a position. So hopefully I saved a few of you there. But we're going to talk about Alpine 4 again today, because now is potentially the time to strike. Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you are all well. Today's video is going to have a bit of a sort of an overview of the week ahead. We've got big earnings coming up, so I'm just going to kick it off by just having a look at what is coming up. We're going to CNBC then. Big tech earnings in the week ahead. Could test stocks' recent rally. Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook, and Amazon. The FANG stocks, guys, you know all about it. The biggest of the big cap tech are among the 30% of the S&P companies reporting. A third of the Dow also expecting results, including Caterpillar, Coca-Cola, Merrick, Boeing, and McDonald's. Next week is the real test. So far, reporting period, nearly 84% have beat estimates. Earnings are so far expected to be up around 34.8 over the last year, based on actual reports and estimates. The tug of war in good versus bad earnings reports has landed in favour of the market, with the S&P hitting all-time highs on Thursday. We may finally be seeing some cracks in the earnings season. Nasdaq also finished up 1.3% higher for the week, but it was down 0.8% on Friday as tech stocks declined. We've seen that Intel tanked 11.6% on Friday, which is part of the reason why it tanked the Nasdaq, after the company sales missed expectations. And that's to do with the chip shortages. Most companies using that as an excuse. Tesla didn't. And Tesla throbbed. Snapchat tanked as well. I don't understand the fascination with Snapchat. I used to use it, but I don't use it anymore. They got rid of the save your story feature, which I loved, and then they got rid of it. So I was just like, well, this is just crap. The company has also said that advertisers were holding back due to supply chain disruptions and labor shortages. So the big one, guys, is Facebook earnings on Monday will be closely watched for any similar comments, as well as the Alphabet and Twitter Tuesday. So we've seen them kind of stocks fall. It'll be very interesting to see, and it could kick off a dodgy week. The other thing to watch out for is the Treasury. Continued to edge higher in the past week, touching 1.7 before falling 1.64 on Friday. Market pros are watching it to see if the yield will reach 1.74. The closing high from March, and whether it'll begin to worry stock investors. So the week ahead calendar: Monday, Facebook, all eyes on it. Tuesday, we'll have Apple, Microsoft, Visa, AMD, Twitter, and then we've got some important things to watch out for. The consumer confidence will also be interesting. Wednesday, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, GM, Ford will be interesting. Our competitors towards Tesla, and we've also got positions in Lucid, which we'll get into later. Apple and Amazon will be interesting. Volkswagen, of course, again for the previous reasons. Royal Dutch Shell, just as a side interest to see how the oil's doing. Then we've got our jobless claims, which is big. And Friday, a few other big boys, but nothing of worth noting. Now for the exciting bit, the stuff that I'm looking for. First thing I want to talk about, guys, is Lucid Motors. I touched on it there. Is rumored to be announcing its deliveries that is done. Okay, now I'm not going to go into too much. I've done previous Lucid videos, and I want to do a deep dive into it, but it's kind of in the back burner. It's a long hold, very, very early doors on Lucid. I have a very, very small position. I bought this before the SPAC. And I held, rightly or wrongly, through the whole pain of like a 60-70% pullback. At the bottom, I doubled down on it, and now I've got a sort of position in and around $28. So I'm currently down on it. If we go on the tip ranks, we can see it's sitting at 24.11, and I would not be buying in and around this level because this is pretty much where the analysts expect this share price to be, and I haven't bought any since. It's had a decent rally, but if this week, if they can announce deliveries, and it does well, be prepared for this stock to absolutely shoot off. However, if the week, maybe next week, we don't hear nothing, I expect a pullback. And if it does fall in and around sort of 18, 17, we throw down a few quid on it. Guys, that's what I'm going to be doing on Lucid Motors. Long hold, highly risky, a lot of FUD out there as well about it. I still fundamentally believe in the background of Lucid Motors. We know that Tesla link there, and I kind of trust what's going on there, but it is high risky. At the end of the day, they aren't really doing anything. We've seen the likes of Nikolai, we've seen the likes of Workhorse, all these crap stocks that have promised things that have not delivered, and where's the price went? toilet. Also, the earnings come up on 1st of December, so someone wants to roll the dice on that, fair enough, but I wouldn't be. I'd be holding, and that's the position there. The next stock is Alpine 4. I did a video on this on the 19th, the day before the NASDAQ. I told everyone and anyone that was listening to me not to be opening up a position. I'm not saying anything bad about the stock. You can go in and watch that video. But I did say this, you could hold and do all that if you want and buy the dip, but I was pretty much guaranteeing there was a dip coming, and I said I'm not touching it until it's in and around $3. Well guys, anyone that watched that video, you are welcome. As you can see here on the 19th, we did have highs of in and around 575. From that height to the current price, it has fell 40%. That's one hell of a gaping. And if I saved anybody there, feel free to buy me a coffee, because I have saved you a fortune. But what we're doing now, guys, as you can see, is in and around 356. We're not there yet. I'm still not buying. I'm looking to maybe start opening positions in and around maybe 310 is the price there. It could go to $3. It could definitely go to below $3. But I'm happy to start opening a position there. So keep that on the radar. I'll say no more about it. Go in and watch that video for more details. The next one I want to bring to your attention is more risky, and this will be more of a potential swing trade. Potentially hold long, doesn't fit completely into the sector that I'm liking, but I do know there is huge potential obviously in gaming. So this one might not come as much as a surprise. SKLZ. SKLZ is a stock that we've talked about, oh God, one of the first sort of stocks that I've covered on the channel probably. In one of the videos we have talked about it before, but this one, lows of 15, average of 19, highest price $25. You're currently picking this stock up at $10. Obviously, again, guys, we know all about the highs. It's fell about 80% down, but recently on the day chart, we can see that the MACD has crossed over and there seems to be a bit of momentum coming now. The other reason why I like this here is because we have earnings on the 3rd of November. So that, to me, could spell with these lows, the MACD is looking quite good. We've just crossed over the 9-day moving average, which is another thing that I love. I love to be above that. Once we get a candlestick above that, it's on the radar. And a buy signal is the last signal has come in, and we've been underneath this for well over a month now, and as you can see, we have just closed above it. So I'm just going to open a small position purely for a swing trade, nothing major, but as you can see, there's about an 88% upside to the analyst average, which is $25. But let's not forget, at the peak, this was a $45. So to me, I feel like you're getting SKLZ at a good price with 3rd of November earnings coming up. The charts are looking good. I'm going to throw some money down on them tomorrow. And then the last one is a bit more of a safer one, big holding, is PayPal. The reason we're looking at PayPal is because it has taken one hell of a gaping on the back of the news that they're going to be buying PIN interest. We've seen what's happened before with the likes of these types of stocks that have announced deals, any sort of mergers, any sort of deals, it usually gets a pullback because it's big investment, it's unnervy, people don't maybe understand what PIN interest is, it came out of nowhere, all of that. It's uncertainty, we know the markets don't like uncertainty. So if we strip it back from the month prior, even just in the last month, we have seen a 14% decrease. And if we just go on the tip ranks to wrap it up, 21 buy, 3 hold, sell, just over 38% upside on the average PayPal price. That is not the high, that is the average price. So that is a considerable enough gain. Plus, I like what PayPal are doing. We've talked about PayPal on the channel before. I like PayPal because they're breaching well into the crypto. And we've talked about crypto and we know all about it in the channel. Plus, this deal with PIN interest, well, once that digests, should push it on. I like PIN interest. I use it myself. So again, I like a stock that I'm invested in. This could be one that potentially I would be holding long. So in summary, could be a big week ahead. Plenty of earnings coming. Lucid Motors, deliveries are due. Let's see what happens. Earnings come up on the 1st of December. Not buying, I'm holding, but keeping a close eye on it. Alpine 4, I'm looking, I'm wanting to buy this week, get it a bit more closer to the $3. We're not far off now, 40% down. PayPal, looking to buy PIN interest. I believe that deal probably will go through. The crypto moves are fantastic. 8th of November is their earnings. I'm excited about that. Could be swing trade with the potential of a long hold. And SKLZ is the video gaming sector. We know all about it. Their earnings are coming up on the 3rd of November. It's had a huge tank in, over 80% upside. Bit more risky, don't get me wrong, but with the roll up to earnings, I'm thinking there could be a great potential for a swing trade, and I'm happy enough to hold long. If worst comes to worst, it is a decent stock, no doubt about it. And that is the video. I hope you find this one informative, or any of them stocks of interest to you. Please leave your comments down below. I would like to know. If you feel like buying me a coffee, there's links down there, as well as free shares and crypto. But apart from that, if you just want to support, you can like and subscribe, share the channel. It all helps me out. Really do appreciate everyone, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence.